Good afternoon, everybody. This is Reverend Sam, co-pastor at Amazing Love Sanctuary in Arvada, Colorado, and this is my Living in Love and Grace broadcast. So my plan was to be on here every day, but then um, we just get busy around here, and I just couldn't find the time to get on here. But here I am, and so I'm hoping you're following this and sharing it. And it's one of the things that I've always wanted to do to become a little more pinpointed in my conversation and ministry about love and grace. And so, therefore, I created Living in Love and Grace. Let me get something here in a minute. Okay, so here's the story. Just so you know, I'm going to just kind of fill you in on it again and again. So I voted. I did my part as an American. I voted. I did my dropped my my mail-in ballot in the box that was provided in my neighborhood here in Denver, or in Denver, Colorado. And the day I did that, I put it in the box, and I thought, you know what? I'm done. I did my part. I'm done with the I don't know, all the rhetoric that goes on, and the anger and the bitterness and stuff. Because I thought about this. Nobody has sent, and I get thousands, literally hundreds of emails, literally every day, of stuff. Read this, Pastor. Read this, Pastor Sam. Read this, Reverend Sam. This will change your mind, And so, and I've read them all. I feel like and I love my friends and people and that I know that do that. If you take the time to send me that, I'm going to read it. Sometimes I think it's pretty wacky, and I'm surprised that people believe some of the stuff that they send me. But I read it, and I sometimes I engage in some conversation about it. And I can't think of any one person that ever wrote me back and said, "Hey, thank you for posting that," when I've occasionally posted some political thing and said, "You changed my mind." So that's kind of where I'm at. We haven't changed each other's mind. We were all gonna vote the way that we were all going to vote. So I decided this was my opportunity to get out of the to get out of the debate and onto something more productive, something that feels attached to my heart and my spirit. Excuse me. Um, a lot of anger. Some of my friends have even decided I'm out of this. I'm just going to talk about spiritual things, and I post spiritual things, and somehow they get tempted to get back in it, and they get beat up a little bit, and with engaging in somebody's debate, and they get out, and then they get out, and they're like, that stung and that hurt, and people said some things that I didn't like, and I feel bad for them. So I decided I was out. I did my part. I voted. I'm good with what I did and the decisions that I made and the things that I checked off, and I'm good. So now I'm back. I'm going to go forward with what I believe is truly my calling and the message that God has placed on my heart. And that's a message of love and grace. Love and grace. Living in that love and grace. And that's the journey I want you to go with me on, is living in love and grace. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's a little bit painful. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle, but I know you can be there with me in that journey of living in love and grace. So let me get in here. I'm sorry about my voice. Every time I think I finally got it all together, then I'm starting to lose my voice again. Part of it's probably because of, I would believe, all the forest fires here in Colorado. And doing my work in ministry, I spend a lot of time pretty close to those forest fires officiating weddings up in northern Colorado. So But anyway, so I want to get in here and I want to read this. This is kind of where my heart's at. Here it is. From the Passion Translation, 1 Corinthians 13 is just really the direction that I'm going in this. It all starts with this. Love is large and incredibly patient. Love is gentle and consistently kind to all. It refuses to be jealous. When blessings come to someone else, love does not brag about one's achievement nor inflate its own importance. Love does not traffic in shame and disrespect, nor selfishly seek its own honor. Love is not easily irritated or quick to take offense. Love joyfully celebrates honesty and finds no delight in what is wrong. Love is a safe place of shelter, for it never stops believing the best for others. I don't know, every time I get to that part of the reading, I just feel like I have to hit it a little bit harder. And I don't know if I do it just for me or for you, but I love that. It never stops believing the best for others. Love never takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up. Until then, there are three things that remain: faith, hope, and love, yet love surpasses them all. So above all else, let love be the beautiful prize for which you run. Doesn't get any clearer than that. Love. Love, 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 love. I could almost feel like I could get on here and just say love, 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 and just kind of leave it at that and see what people think. But that's kind of where my heart's at. It's about love and what that means to us and how we find it in our lives. Think about it this way. Jesus said, "This is how people will know that you're following me. That you love each other." It's pretty much that simple. He took a bunch of ragtag disciples, a bunch of ragtag people that listened to him, heard him speak, and said, "I'll follow him." And he challenged them to learn how to love each other. And I was thinking about that the other day. I woke up like in the middle of in the night. I don't know why. I was thinking about it. And I thought to myself, I wonder how hard it was for those guys to just learn how to love each other. Those fishermen, tax collectors, drunkards. And Jesus said, you guys got to learn how to love each other. And aren't we facing that in this world, in this time that we're living in right now? Just learning how to love each other, learning how to connect with each other, care for each other. That's kind of where our heart's at. So my challenge is for us, once you feel like you've done what you needed to do, get out of it. Put it down. Put it down. And open your heart to the people around you that you need to love. And I'm not talking about family. Those are the easy ones. I'm talking about the people that you struggle with every day to love. Maybe it's somebody that you need to, something in you is saying you need to make things right with that person. That's part of love. Learning how to love and learning how to extend forgiveness and receive forgiveness. That's what's really important to me as we kind of go through this journey about love. And so that's my challenge. I know it's not easy. I know it's a hard journey to take. And so, but I want to share some thoughts with you. And these are some thoughts that I got from Bishop Michael Curry in his new book. And I thought these are just some really good points that I want to share with you. And he said, we're living right now in a world built on selfishness, indifference, even hatred, and it doesn't look good. Man, if that's not true, it pierces our heart. We are living in a time where there is a huge amount of selfishness indifference and hatred, and it looks terrible on us. It's like a bad suit. It just doesn't look good. And that really is something that I think we probably need to concentrate on. I mean, where does it get us? All of this indifference, all this hate, where does it get us? Mass shootings, murders of innocent people, brutal politicians, suppression of marginalized groups, of minorities, mistreatment of people. There's a rise in racism and anti-Semitism, and there's this nationalistic fervor and that's out there, and this xenophobia. And what happens in this, for a lot of people that aren't engaged in this, but we're sitting there, you're sitting there afraid and living in fear. And fear begins to rule our lives, not love, but fear begins to rule our lives. And people are hurting and hating because we're different. People are hurting and hating somebody who's different, who looks different, somebody who's a different color, somebody who loves differently, somebody who worships differently, somebody who's made decisions that you would never make. And we let hate fill our hearts in that. Wars, the rumors of wars. We have an earth that's being polluted and exploited. And it all adds up to me, is insanity. And suddenly a world being built on the concept of love starts to feel like the right answer, the right path. Because all this other stuff isn't working. It's not working at all. And a world built on love and acceptance, forgiveness, and grace seems to be a world that I want to be a part of. And I want us to all go on that journey. Think about it this way. Love builds. Love builds something. Hate destroys. Love builds, hate destroys. So we have to stop the madness. How do people know that you are my followers? You will love one another. So love, only a life of love opens gates, and points and welcomes people into a community of love. So simply put it this way. Love is God's way. Love is God's way. Hate is not God's way. And it's really the only thing that works. It's the only way that works. So maybe people look at Jesus and go, well, that's, Reverend Sam, that's just so idealistic and so pie in the sky. And now you're talking about Jesus and all this idea about love. And, I don't think Jesus was a great strategist. I don't think he was a great businessman or a great theologian. Back then, there was always a lot of zealots out there with disciples or people that followed them. Most of them were angry. Most of them were trying to change the world, fight the Roman government, fight the Jewish traditions. And then here comes Jesus and just says, by this, everyone's going to know that you follow me. Love each other. The other ones were saying, pick up a sword. The other ones were saying, let's fight the Romans. The other ones were angry and bitter. And Jesus comes along and says, love each other. And it's a tough lesson to learn. It was a radical lesson to love each other, to love each other when they were different, to love people of different cultures, Samaritans, Pharisees, tax collectors, fishermen. Nobody loved fishermen, but you ate their fish, but you didn't love fishermen. They were kind of a ragtag group. And here comes this itinerant, self-trained rabbi. I kind of, in my mind, picture Jesus as not even really a great carpenter, or he would have stayed, being a carpenter. But he had this calling. Love those. Let them see you love each other. That's how people will know you're following me. Love your enemies. Love those who curse you. Love those who abuse you. He offered this message about the beauty of love and the transformation of love, and how love comes into a person's life and changes them. Love was a way that could help the marginalized in his day, could heal, could lift up, could liberate, could disarm. Just learning how to love. Paul said it this way: do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with goodness. Just goodness. That's what Jesus was teaching, overcoming evil with good, overcoming evil with love. That's kind of where we're at right now, each one of us. It's a challenging time. It's a challenging place. We've said things we probably regretted. We've had opinions that we shouldn't have had. We've been angry. We've been bitter. We've been racist. We've all probably toyed with all of those things. But here's my challenge for you and I: to live differently. Live differently. Take the higher road. Work harder. Work longer at your commitment to love. That's the hard part. Live differently. Work harder to love. So having courage and faith and love, these are all things that have to be cultivated. They just don't happen overnight. They just don't take place in a moment, in a flash. It takes a lot of work to get there. And that's where we're at. Yet love is something that has to be practiced every single day. So that's my challenge for you and I today, is to discover living in love. It's kind of like looking at a history lesson for those people that made that their lifestyle. Jesus, of course, but Gandhi, Martin Luther King. They demonstrated a way to live love and to explore love. So I found some steps this week, and I know for most of us, these are 9 steps. We like steps. I don't know if you do well with them. I think we as men, we always like, give me instructions, give me 10 steps to change this. So here's 9 steps. You can do with them what you want. Meditate daily on love. Meditate daily on love. It might be a time of meditation. It might be a Bible time of reading. It might be a prayer time. But commit to holding a space every day to meditate about the value of love and the need for love in your life and in your relationships. Um, the other one is don't rise from the madness by adding more madness. Strive for unity, not division. Model love. So sometimes we think we got to attack back. We got to fight back. You don't have to. You don't have to. So I mean, even this week, I chimed in on somebody's on a news reel that was running, a live news reel, and I chimed in on it. Somebody just blasted me, and I thought, I don't even know this person, but they took some shots at me that I thought were really pretty unfair because they don't know me. But that's where we need to be. Rise above the madness, but don't add more madness into the picture. That's what I was saying. People send me stuff, I read it, and we're not changing anybody's mind. So why bother? Let's talk about something that is deeper and has more value. Number 3, walk and talk in the manner of love. Why? Because Scripture tells us, the Bible says, God is love. So walk in it, talk in it. So I think about it. Well, when I was a kid, when your parents would hit you, and growing up in the neighborhood I did, if your neighbors would hit you if you were bad and you were acting up as a kid, your aunts and your uncles would hit you, and I never felt loved when I was getting hit or spanked, or back then we did get hit, so it was pretty vicious back then. And so but I think that's true here. So I just checked on here. So many are far lost off this path, my friend. Thank you for reminding us. I'm going to kind of give Jill something to speak about here. Is every morning at 7:30, and I don't make them all the time because I got a ton of things going on. But Jill Hector Tarnoff gets on and does a morning meditation. And it will help you. So she just is a blessing to me, and it was kind of fun to watch her this morning when you had, for a while there, it was just all the guys. All the guys were jumping on there watching Jill. But what a beautiful thing to meditate and to be a part of that. It's just something that, I think is amazing. So meditate on that idea that God is love. Pray daily. Here's number 4. Pray daily to be used by God that all men might experience love. So prayer means a lot of things to a lot of people. Some people pray differently. Some people use prayer books. But somebody was talking to me the other day. They talked about writing love letters to the world, to the community, to the city, whatever. So whatever that takes, learn how to love, learn how to communicate love. Pray daily to be used by God in order that you can demonstrate love. Number 5, sacrifice personal wishes so that people would experience love. That's kind of an interesting one. The opposite of love. The opposite of love isn't hate. We use it that way, but really the opposite of love is being selfish. It's just being selfish about ourselves. So I love it when people get online and they jump in and say, "Hey, I'm checking in on everybody. How's everybody doing it? How's everybody doing today? Are you a 10? Are you a 9? Are you a 4? Are you a 1? Whatever." And people jump on there and go, "Yeah, today I'm having a terrible day. I'm a straight up 1, or I'm a 5, or man, I started out great, but now I'm back down there." So learn how to sacrifice to express love. Take 15 minutes to check in on people. Commit to something weekly, or make a phone call and say, "I just want to see how you're doing and let you know that I love you." And so I love you as in my relationship as a friend. It's not always a romantic thing. It's having this deep passion for people in your heart, and the people that are meaningful, do meaningful things and bring meaningful things into your life, and be comfortable saying, I love you. Practice love with both, number 6, practice love with both friends and foe. That's a big one. So take a deep breath. Sometimes you might have to take a deep breath, scream into a paper bag, call somebody, take a walk, and learn how to love again. That's a beautiful thing. Number 7, seek to perform regular services for others and for the world. Yeah, that's a good one. So a lot of us are on here on the social media with these things like I'm doing now, living and loving in grace, and Jill with her meditation, David with his teaching, Bob with his teaching on there. And you know what? Nobody's getting paid to do this. We're doing it because we really want to communicate love. That's where we're at. So give of yourself, because it just touches your heart. You're learning how to give love. Ooh, this was a hard one. So on the back of my car, sometimes I have to remind myself when I'm driving that on the back of my car, I have a sticker that says clergy, minister, or something. And so I have to go, oh man, I got to really be careful what I say and do and how I drive. And even my wife and daughter, when they drive my car, like, do you have to have that bumper sticker on there? And it slows you. It slows you down, and you change things. Or when when I run into a store and I'm wearing my clergy gear and my collar, you're like, oh, I can't be that guy. So refrain from violence of your tongue and your heart, being angry and bitter, and find ways to love and not judge others. That's a hard one, because sometimes, right now, one of the most popular things on social media is everybody wants to see the Karens, the Karens that are losing their mind over whatever. Number 9, strive to be in good spiritual health. Yeah, it's easy to be in good physical health. No, it's not easy. I'm not good at it. I'm terrible at it. But it's easier to say, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do that. It's the spiritual part of it that's the hardest part. It's a call to stop living selfishly, ignoring other people, not turning people into your doormats. So imagine, if you will, the impact of each and every person taking time to learn how to live out loving principles. Imagine 50% of everything you do being about love. Imagine everything you think about when it comes to politics or business or religion or community. You live to be a transforming power of love. So one of my great passions is religion, and I love studying other religions, and I love the Sikh religion. Some people call them Sikhs, but the Sikh religion. And they're the men with the turbans and the beards, and they're not Muslim. They're Sikhs, but they have this wonderful ability to give and demonstrate their love for God by giving to others, giving a meal every week. So maybe we need to learn how to live in love and walk in love. So that's my living in love and grace for today, October 28th, 2020. So let me kind of close with my forever love commitment. Brothers and sisters, I want you to know that I am committed to you. You will never knowingly suffer at my hands. I will never say or do anything knowingly to hurt you. I will always, in every circumstance, seek to help you and support you. If you're down and I can lift you up, I will do that. Anything I have that you need, I will share it with you. And if need be, I will even give it to you. No matter what I find out about you, no matter what happens in the future, good or bad, my commitment to you will never change. And there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have to respond. I love you. That's what that means. I love you. By this, all men will know that you are my followers. Love one another. So get out of the debate. Go vote. Get it over with. Because when you do that, it's like, whew, it's over. I'm done. And if you want to stay in it, I guess that's the place that you want to stay. But it's not where my heart's at. And so my heart's here, teaching us, guiding us, teaching us how to live in love and grace and acceptance and forgiveness. So I put some information on there, and my little website. It's not much. I was trying to work on it a little bit. If you need that. Here's my email address if you need to email me. If you need my phone number, just email me and say, hey, can I have your phone number, and give you a call. So go ahead and please share the message, put it out there, let people see it. I have a YouTube channel, subscribe to it. And I just want you to know that I appreciate everything that you're doing and all the work and stuff that you do. Jill, thank you for being on here. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you and all that you do. You just really are out there putting it on the line for us. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. I will be back doing weddings starting tomorrow for the rest of the weekend. But I'll try to get on here and share some more stuff about living in love and grace. So have a great evening. God bless you guys. We'll see you later.